Freddie, trying stuff.
Oh, hi, how you doing? Join me on this adventure as we explore what Freddy has been up to. I hear it has something to do with a shipping container. Follow me, let's find out.
I know what you're thinking. Why is he cutting his own trees down? Well, as you could probably guess, me wanting a shipping container and me planning to get a shipping container are two different me's. So, what you're looking at is me trying to create additional space for the guy with the shipping container in his truck to back it up. Now, granted, I have no logistics understanding of how this was gonna work, but I figured cutting a few brushes in front of my house was worth it to get what I want. And in this process, I'm gonna just give you some information you need to know about getting a shipping container. From my experience, where to go, how much you pay, and the kind of planning behind it. Now, as most of you all know, shipping containers come in different sizes. But what they don't tell you is the size alone doesn't determine what can fit in your house. You need to know how long your backyard is, and also the driveway and the roadways, how wide is it for it to navigate. So what you're looking at is me trying to navigate or try to create space on the one lane road to get a shipping container into the side of my house. Now granted, I learned a lot in this whole process, but while we're going back and forth trying to figure this out, I think I use this time to tell you things you need to do or how to get a shipping container. One, there's a lot of places you can get a shipping container from. I actually use Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. So if you type in shipping container on Facebook Marketplace, there's a ton of ship container brokers. That's what they're called. And what they are, just the middleman into getting your ship container. Because there's so many of them, it's actually good to shop around for the price that makes sense for you. Now, delivery to my house and the container I want, which is a 40-foot high cube. I'm gonna put a little description on that screen so you guys know where it is. 40-foot high cube. Now, in that process, the best way, from my experience, to get what you want is to talk to multiple brokers, because some of them might give you highly inflated prices and some of them will try to work with you. Because keep in mind, some of these people live in Kansas, some people live in Colorado. We don't know where these people live. They don't have to necessarily be local. They just need to have the resources to get you the container through the local means. And that's really the process. You talk to one, you agree on the price. For example, the first person I talked to said there's somewhere along 3,000 some change. I didn't want to do that, so I shopped around. And shopping around, I was able to get someone that will give me a shipping container, 40-foot high cube, for $2,600. Okay, with delivery. Now let's talk about the delivery aspect. Now, I paid for my shipping container, and remember, it's like 3 weeks later it actually arrived. So you gotta treat the shipping container the way you treat shopping at AliExpress or shopping anywhere that's not Amazon or eBay, pretty much. Meaning it will take their sweet time, because the way they cut costs is they work on the logistics of who is going to be traveling in your area, and then they'll try shipping as many shipping containers they have in back order to then arrive. Now, if there's multiple people who order in a shipping container in your area, then you probably won't be the first person they'll get to. They have to get to the earlier customers first. Now, in doing so, you pay that. You have to pay. It's a complete faith kind of thing. You have to trust them first, meaning you pay your money before you have any indication that you have a shipping container. Granted, they'll send you an email or some kind of receipt, but that's really it. And if you're someone who needs more assurance than that, then yeah, this is going to be a nerve-wracking experience for you. Now, in this process, In this process, they'll ask you what shipping container color you might prefer, and they'll also tell you, even though you might prefer that color, you might not get it. So it's good to have multiple options. So in doing so, I told them I'm fine with black, blue, something else, and something else. A lot of the decisions really didn't come down to me; came down to my wife. So in doing so, or fiance, or whatever you want to call her, in doing so, eliminated, I guess, the option paralysis for me. Now, as you can see, that's just the main steps. Now, you're not guaranteed to get the color. So even though I asked for blue, I could very easily gotten green or yellow, and I just have to deal with it because they can't guarantee it, but they'll try to look into it. Meaning that they're not gonna lose sleep. If they have a container ready, they'll get it for you. Now, as you can see, we managed to squeeze this thing in, which I think is awesome. Now, I'm going to use this opportunity to tell you things you need to know before you get a shipping container. 1, make sure that you have like your laws and your area city laws allows you to get a shipping container. So right now I'm located somewhere in the DMV, and let's just say that there is not a direct notation that I can or cannot have one. So I'm in the process of getting permit to actually have one. Now, that being said, it's actually good to look at what your jurisdiction allows, and then feel free to fight it or ask for specific permission. I think it's very important to do so you don't have to run into some of the issues I'm running now. Now, because I live in a neighborhood where people are super nosy, and I don't have a HOA fees to worry about, HOA stuff to worry about, but people are super nosy and they want things a specific way. So it's fair to say I'm getting a lot of crap from this. I've gotten a lot of stuff from my neighbors. Actually, somebody I think called permit people on me, so I'm battling that now. And keep in mind, before I got the shipping container, I did my own research, and there was no law saying that I couldn't have one. But of course, being someone doing this in the neighborhood that no one ever thought about doing this, there are gonna be some concerns, and best believe they'd let me know about them. Now, main things you know, I think that's the core things you need to worry about. And granted, before I got the shipping container, I'm no novice. Like, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos for the last 3 years. I've indulged myself in shipping container YouTube video porn, I guess. So in doing so, I know kind of a lot of things I needed to know to get a shipping container, and this is really why I decided to get one. I'm a big fan of renewable resources. Shipping container is one of those things that there's a lot of them, is ubiquitous, and they need to be reused pretty much. So I think I covered a lot in this video. All I'm going to do now is explain to you the whole process. After he delivers it, I have to inspect it, sign off on it. The delivery guy was amazing. As you could see, he found a way to get this big 40-foot container into the side of my house, which is great. Now, another notation I think I should mention, just in case you're considering doing this, whoever your neighbors are to the right or the left, I hope you're very cool with them, because the shipping container stands higher than a lot of fences. So if some neighbors, I'm not this kind of neighbor, but I know there are neighbors like this. Some of them tend to be a little agitated when they find out that when they look over their fence, they see a huge container over there. So it's fair to say I got a lot of crap from that as well. And also, other prep work you need to deal with when it comes to getting a shipping container is go to your local Home Depot store, go to your local Lowe's or whatnot, and get yourself cinder blocks to hold it up. Now, as you can see, I did that. I bought some cinder block, but I wasn't fully prepared. I think for a container this long, it's fair to buy a good 20, maybe even 40. I said 20. So that means you could put 2 blocks together on both ends, each 4 corners, and maybe 2 more in the middle. I think that that's maybe like 3 more in the middle. That would probably use up all the 20. So that is a configuration you should go with that keeps it sturdy. You don't have to worry about leakage, you don't have to worry about erosion. because it's well protected. So I hope this was helpful. Next video, you see the steps I made to turn this shipping container into a cool